Hello? How are you guys doing? Oh my god, it is like 3:07. Some 3:08, 3:07, I was right. I am like still not on any kind of time schedule since I got back from Vegas. I think being there like just really disrupted my schedule. I went to bed late last night because I watched an episode of Sharp Objects, which I'm like living for. And then I didn't get up too late today, and so I didn't get a lot of sleep because the dogs were wanting to go out and stuff. And so I had planned to take a nap all day, and then I just kind of was like going, getting stuff done. And so tonight, Alex's friend that he works with, that he usually goes out to dinner with, her boyfriend is in town from Miami. And so he was like, do you want to meet us for dinner at the Cheesecake Factory? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I met them there for dinner. And Melissa and Jason were there too. They were with her parents. Everybody goes to Cheesecake Factory here in Indianapolis. Anyway, so I had dinner with them. We left there at like 9 o'clock. I came home. I did a live stream like as soon as I got home. So I was done with my live stream at like 10:30. And I was going to go see Tanya and take over her presents that I got for her. But she had been going all day long, so she was like exhausted. And so she said, and then she can't do tomorrow night because her niece just had a baby. So she is going to be hanging out with her niece tomorrow. So I'll see her this weekend. Alex is going out of town. I'm sure I'll spend some time with Tanya. But anyway, so Tanya was like, if you want to stop by, you can stop by. But I was so tired. And when I got done with my live stream, I was like, I'm just going to lay down for an hour. And so I started laying down, but Alex was in bed, you know, just like on the computer and stuff. He was like getting ready to watch a show. And I completely crashed out. And I had set my alarm. And it started going off, like, right as he was going to bed. And he was like, which was like, probably, I don't know, 11:45. I set it for like 11:45 and 11:50. And he would, because I was going to go vlog right after that and then come home and go to bed. And he was like, hey, babe, can you just, like, turn your alarm off? So I did. So I fell asleep holding my phone. And I just woke up, like, 15 minutes ago. And now I'm like awake, you know? Like awake. And I'm having coffee with a friend at 10:30 in the morning. That is early for Peter Monn, 10:30. I don't know why. We planned this coffee like 2 weeks ago, so she works, so that's like the only time that she can do it, and I don't ever get to see her, so that's tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. Oh, gosh. Anyway, it's been a good day. It's been like a really good day. I woke up and took the dogs out. It was beautiful in Indianapolis today. It's really kind of like early fall here. It's like warm, but like a lot of the leaves have fallen already. And it's just beautiful outside. Still like in the 80s. I was actually going to go for a swim tonight. I never ended up going. Alex finally started unpacking his stuff tonight. Oh, so anyway, that was just my day. I went to get coffee. I came home and filmed videos. Got a bunch of stuff done around the house. Spent a lot of time with the dogs. And before I knew it, like, Alex was calling to see if I wanted to go to dinner. I was like, yeah, sure. I like a good dinner out. Who doesn't like a good dinner out? So anyway, I have like 2.5 hours left of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and I'm trying to finish it by, I guess I have now 2 days to finish it, because I want to finish it in August, because my plan is to read, you know, like one Harry Potter book a month. And the first one I was supposed to read in July, but I actually read it, Harry Potter, I reread it in August. And then Chamber of Secrets is supposed to be the August book, so I want to get it done because Prisoner of Azkaban I'm reading in September. And then a friend of mine on BookTube just started a book club. So if you're interested, let me know and put it in the comment section below and I'll list what it is. But it's going to be all probably young adult books. I think he's like 20 or something like that. He and this woman started a book club. And it's like a fantasy series that they're reading. I'm all about supporting other booktubers. So I'm going to join that. And it's like another online like book club like mine is. And I have to go get that book. Man, have you guys watched this Sharp Objects thing? It is fantastic. It is like, so I started reading Sharp Objects when we were in the Dominican Republic. It's a really short book, actually. It's like 280 pages or right at 300 or something like that. And I didn't finish it. And when I was going to read it like a couple weeks ago, I was actually going to maybe take it to Vegas with us. And I never finished it. And I thought that it was just like, because the book is so short, I thought it was just like a 3-hour movie on HBO. I didn't realize it was an 8-part series. I have no idea how they turned this little book into an 8-part series. But I started watching it last night, and let me just tell you that it is so impressive how it is done. I mean, it is so well done. It is like so similar to the book. Like, some of the lines they say are identical to the book. There are a few things that are off of the book, but not really that much. I mean, like the whole scene where she goes in and to her mom's house. If you guys don't know what it's about a reporter, and she's from a small town in Missouri called Wind Gap, and there's a girl that has been killed there like a year ago, and then there's a missing girl. It's written by Gillian Flynn, who wrote Gone Girl. And now every book that she's written has been made into a movie. Can you even imagine? So anyway, the other one was called Dark Places, which a lot of people didn't like, and I thought it was done really well. Charlize Theron played the main character. I thought that was, Tanya and I watched it, I thought it was really well done. So anyway, which means Gillian Flynn's probably about to come out with a new book because this series just came out. I'm about to roll through McDonald's and get a Diet Coke. I am so craving a Diet Coke right now. So anyway, and then this woman is like a severe alcoholic. All these books that have severe alcoholics as main characters in it, it's interesting to me. So she's like a severe alcoholic, and I feel like Gillian Flynn really characterized her well. The main character, I can't remember who the girl is that plays her. She's so good though, and the woman that plays her mother is really, really good too. So she goes, so she's a newspaper reporter, and her boss sends her back to her hometown to cover this story. But really, like, he's trying to send her home to work on some family issues. She doesn't know that, so that she can, like, fix herself, if that makes sense. And, so yeah. Enough change. I can't think of who that actress is, but she's really good in the role. $1. I think it's like $1.09. I haven't gotten a Diet Coke, honestly, in a long time. Are they closed? Hello? I never come through McDonald's for Diet Coke. And of course, every time I come through McDonald's for Diet Coke on my vlog, they don't answer. Hello?
I'm sorry about that. I was in the freezer.
Oh, that's okay.
What can I get for you?
I'm sorry. I just needed large Diet Coke.
$1.08. We found the first window.
I can tell fall is coming because my,
Right as I said.
Oh, that's cool. I was just like, I thought maybe you were closed or something.
No. Need your receipt?
No, I don't need it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. My nose, I'm starting to get the sniffles. Which is never a good thing. When I was a little kid, I used to get allergies so bad. Do you know what's interesting about being a vegetarian? Like, and Alex is always like, well, maybe it's because you're not getting enough protein. I'm like, or maybe it's just that I crave fatty food. But like, I very rarely like crave, like I don't crave a steak. I don't crave like a breast of chicken. I crave like fast food, like a Big Mac.
There you go, boss.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. I like crave like a Big Mac or like a Whopper. And I actually today, because somebody had left a comment on my video when I said this last time, and they were like, did you know that there's like all this trash? I was like almost tempted to go pick up that trash and throw it in the trash can. Clothes and oh, you know what I wanted to know? I was gonna do this the last time and I forgot to do it. Was go to the library and see if they have that donation box where you can put books. I'm gonna go over there and do that right now. But first I'm gonna sip this delicious Diet Coke. Oh my God. Sweet heaven, Diet Coke. Oh, there's Cracker Barrel. I wanna go to Cracker Barrel this weekend. I'm gonna make Tony go to Cracker Barrel with me. Diet Coke from McDonald's is literally heaven sent. I forget what's going on. Oh, the last time I was talking about this, somebody said that Burger King has veggie Whoppers. I almost, if Alex hadn't asked me to go to Cheesecake Factory today, my nose is like literally running. I probably would have gone to Burger King and gotten a veggie Whopper if they had it. I was like so craving that. It's like really bright outside. It's like the weirdest like sky. It looks like it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Was I just abducted by aliens and it just like flash forwarded now since 3:20? Oh. Is it faster if I just go straight? It's faster if I just go straight. I'm just gonna go this way. Never go this way anyway. I had a live stream tonight and it was really, really fun. Okay, so I have a question. So you know, this Peterisms channel that I'm starting, and I was supposed to start it like August 1st, and then I postponed it to October 1st. So let me tell you the problem that I'm having is that a lot of people initially reached out to me, but a lot of people don't want to, okay, either, here's the problem. Either the videos that they want to put up, I should have got some napkins for my nose. Either the videos that they want to put up are like, they're really hardcore stories, and I don't really know how to explain it past that, but like, I wouldn't say stories that I think are inappropriate for a YouTube channel. I just, if it was somebody else's channel, I would say, hey, it's your business, put your story out there. But it's really sensitive topics, and so I'm kind of like, I don't know that I want to be responsible if somebody later gets backlash for putting their sensitive story out there, if that makes sense, number one. Number two, a lot of people haven't followed through. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'm totally interested, I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. I've received a couple videos from people, but then there's people that say that they're interested, but then there's no follow through. Or I've contacted friends of mine and family of mine And some people are like, yeah, I'm totally down to tell my story. And other people are like, yeah, I don't want my story on video. Like, I don't want it to be found like that. So it's proving to not be as easy as I thought it was going to be. And the thing is, I have no problem just starting the channel and putting one video up. I mean, I have, like, I'm going to make my video, and then I have the second video, which is the guy that wrote the book, 21 Miles, and then Oxnard. Like, he sent me his video. His video is fantastic. But, I mean, I don't want to just then let the channel just sit there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to not be successful because I don't have information. And I don't know that if I start the channel, that then people will start watching it or not watch it. And so I've been kind of thinking the last couple days what to do with it. I mean, to be honest with you, I just don't. I thought I would have enough for, like, let's say 2 months of videos, even like posting one video a week or 2 videos. And I mean, 1 video a week is really not a lot, you know what I mean? So I was hoping to have enough videos for 2 months, which would be 16 videos. I don't have anywhere near that at all. And the thing is that from the original point that I talked to somebody to the point that they send me their video is about 2 months. So even if today I started talking, it's like in my live stream tonight, a lot of people were interested, and they're like, oh, I want to tell my story, I want to tell my story. And they're like, I'm going to email you, and I haven't even checked the emails. So I might have gotten a lot of emails from people, but from the point that somebody says that, it usually takes like a month plus for me to get an actual video. So I'm like, okay, Peter, what do you do? Because I still want to do this. I still want to have people tell their stories. I'm just like trying to figure out, like, I don't want to do it and not have it done well. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to do that. So I'm thinking about, like, I really need to sit down and figure out what I want to do with that channel. I'm either going to go forward with it and then pray for the best. This is the Storyteller's channel. Or I'm going to dedicate, like, 1 day a week on my Peterisms channel to those videos. And then, because on the Storyteller's channel, I wasn't gonna read somebody else's story. Like, I wanted it to be other people doing their videos. That was like the whole idea behind it, was that it's not me reading somebody's story. It's somebody, because what do? Just start, read it, and then stop when I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted other people to tell their stories. It would be more it's more powerful for other people to tell their stories than people are like, well, I want it to be anonymous, or I don't want to tell my story. Well, you read my story. And I totally understand that. I understand people's fear and not wanting to get on camera. I totally get that. I understand it, right? But for the purpose of, like, the video, like, it kind of takes away from it being several people telling stories. Like, the impact isn't as strong if I read it versus somebody getting on video and telling it. And so, and you know, when I initially came up with the idea, so many people were like, I want to tell my story. I've always wanted to start a channel. I don't know how to start a channel. And I thought, well, here's, you know, an opportunity. If they do one video on my channel, maybe it'll give them an opportunity to start their own channel. And then they'll start their own channel as a result of that. Or this is how they can, you know, make a video. And then they don't have to be afraid because it's just one video. And then if they ever want to, like, you know, put out something else, they can put out something else. But what I'm finding is that people would rather send me their story and have me read it. And I totally get that, right? But if, like, I'm gonna do that, then why not just keep it on the Peterisms channel? Like, there's no reason to, like, have a whole other channel for it, if that makes sense. And maybe that's what I should have done to begin with. I don't know, you know? But, you know, hindsight's 20/20. And maybe it was a fucked up idea. I don't know. No, I don't think it was a fucked up idea. I just think that it's maybe an idea that I don't know, maybe it just needs a little bit more work. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below that I should do with that channel. If I should go forward with it and just post whenever I get something, or if I should just put it on my Peterisms channel, or what I should do with that. I would really like to know, and your honest, constructive feedback, okay? Not shitty comments. If you don't like me and you think it's stupid, hey, I appreciate the fact that, you know, you have an opinion, but like that's not gonna help me make my decision whatsoever. And I can really quickly read through like shitty comments. So, constructive feedback, I'm totally open to. And I think that, you know, like, I'm such an ideas guy that I'm always, like, getting ideas of what I want to do next and stuff like that. Like, I've been watching, I really would like to start a channel where I'm, like, trying products. And so I'm, like, watching a lot of these channels where people try products. I was watching these guys called the Try Guys, and it's interesting what happens on these channels. Like, very few of them, and it's always the really successful ones that stay strictly to trying products. What happens over time with some of these channels is that they start off like like I've done my research on this, is that they all start off doing like trying products out, but then it turns into like a vlog about getting married because they're getting married, and then it's like, oh, you know, my wife and I are having a baby, and then there's like 4 or 5 videos where they're like doing reviews over 3 months, and then it like slows down their channel, and then they're, you know, and then it's back and it's like another, so it, like, you know, it's inconsistent again. And but I don't know, I'm just somebody that before this is so weird, there was a stoplight there, now there's not because I put roundabouts in. I'm a person that before I buy a product, and not just like any product, but like typically like AirPods, like I did this with AirPods, that like I'll go and like read reviews, or I'll watch like reviews or whatever. And that's one of the reasons why on my videos when we travel, I always tag the hotel that we're staying at, like if I show it in a video, because I always Google, like if we're going somewhere, like I'll Google, or I'll like reviews, or I'll look up YouTube videos to see if anybody's done a YouTube video about the place or show it or whatever. So I'm big into reviews, I like that. So I have a lot of stuff that I want to start. You know, like this has always been, I don't know that I know that like it's real quick to say, oh, this is because he's, you know, ADD or ADHD, that he's all over the place. I don't know that I think it's that at all. I really don't. I can tell a difference almost, if this makes sense. Like my ADHD also comes into play on stuff that like I'm not interested in. I don't know how to explain that. Like if I'm not interested in something whatsoever, like my attention span is really short. And if you know anything about like ADD, typically people that have ADD can very well focus on certain things like video games or music or certain things that they're really passionate about. So like that hasn't really been ever a huge problem for me. What's been a problem for me is that I'm like an ideas guy. Like I'm so like constantly thinking of like the next idea. I didn't even realize I was at the end and it just shut off. I'm an ideas guy. Like, so what happens is, like I'll be working on a book and I'll be like so focused, right, on this book. Like this is the book, I'm writing this book, this is the book that I'm writing. And then all of a sudden I'll be driving down the street and I'll come up with another idea. And I do believe that, you know, my ADHD plays into this a little bit, but it was never like this with schoolwork or anything, so I think it's different that it only comes up into creative endeavors. But then all of a sudden, I'll be like really excited by this next idea. The thing is it's never like this. It's never, I want to do this idea more than the other. It's, I want to do both. I always want to do more. And I really honestly think, if anything, of any kind of diagnosis that plays into it, it's really more about me being an addict is what it is, you know? That more ideas and bigger ideas and all that kind of stuff that I'm constantly thinking, you know, about other things that I want to do, and I want to do this and I want to do that. And it's a struggle, you know, like That's why, like, today, like, I really sit on things and think through them. Like, I really think through, like, the things that I want to do. Like, I really would like to start this review channel, but I'm, like, not moving on it. I'm not, you know, like, I'm just kind of sitting and thinking about it, because I just want to, like, think through it, if that makes sense. I want to think of every possible reason not to do it before I start it. And people are like, well, put it on your main channel. And I mean, I haven't ruled that out, you know, like, that I do, like, reviews one day a week. But the problem is with that is that I would really like to do a lot of reviews. And I do think that it's confusing to people instead of compartmentalizing. I think there's no reason today, and I don't know. But, you know, the other thing is like this, is it's like, I'm not, like, as far as subscribing to YouTubers, like, I'm not, like, it doesn't bother me to just subscribe to everybody. Like, I don't care. Like, I go through my subscription feed the same way that I go through the trending. Like, I just, like, if I pass over a video I don't want to watch, I just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, you know what I mean? So when people are like, well, I don't like my subscription feed, like, clogged, and I only, like, subscribe to certain, hey, have it the way that you want to have it. But, like, I don't understand that personally for me, because I don't really care, you know what I mean? Like, on my booktube, I literally subscribe to every new booktuber that I find, and sometimes I never even watch more than one of their videos. So the whole, like, subscribing to channels thing is not that big of a deal to me, which is maybe why it's not that big of a deal for somebody to have 4 and 5 channels, if that makes sense to me. Like, you know, if Susie Smith had 5 channels, and, you know, one of her channels was a food channel, and one of her channels was a woman's clothing channel, and one of her channels was, like, a beauty drama channel, and the other channel was a book channel, you know, whatever, and the 5th channel was, like, I don't know, family vlogging channel, you know, and I wasn't interested in the women's clothing channel because I don't watch that, then I just wouldn't subscribe to that channel, but the other ones I would subscribe to, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't be, oh my god, Susie Smith started another channel. I'd be like, well, good for Susie Smith, she wanted to start another channel, have at it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just, like, it doesn't bother me, like, that stuff doesn't bother me. But I know that people get all bent out of shape about that kind of stuff sometimes. I always, whenever I mention it on here, I always get, like, at least one comment. Somebody's like, well, you know, I don't think you should start another channel and blah, blah, blah. You need to put everything on one channel. I have PR marketing people, okay, tell me that I need to have everything on one channel because it's misleading to the viewer. Now, let's just put this in perspective, okay? So, every day, well, my BookTube channel I've slowed down on a little bit, but every day I post a vlog, I post 1 to 2 drama videos, so that's 3. I post a Peterisms video, and I post a BookTube video. So, and then let's say if I did reviews. So that would be 6 videos I would post on one channel every day. Now, how does that make any more sense, okay, than me having several different channels? It doesn't make any sense at all. None whatsoever. Hold on a second. Here we are at the library. This is, you guys want to see, I haven't shown this in a while. So this is my library. This is the library that I went to when I was a kid. Well, one of them. Newspaper and oh, it's newspaper and magazine recycling. Well, I don't want to throw that away because we use that for fireplaces. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, there's another thing out there, but that doesn't look like a... I guess there's no place to... There used to be. I don't know what happened. It's really such a pretty night outside. I can't believe it's Labor Day weekend. I mean, I can't believe that summer is over. And, for adults, it's really not over, but I got this comment on my video last night. It wasn't a nasty comment, it was a really nice comment actually, but it got me kind of thinking about things, and somebody said something about, like, I'm fixated on my age, or I'm fixated on being old, and they're like, you're just a baby, so thank you for the comment. But it really got me thinking about things, you know, because I talk a lot on my vlog about, you know, age and getting older and whatever, and I think, like, you know, I've talked about this on here before. I think that when your parents pass away, the age that you're at is, like, I think it dictates how you respond to that, if that makes sense. You know, like, for example, with my mom, like, she was so young when she passed away that for her, she, like, struggled with a lot of abandonment issues because her dad died when she was 4. So for me, you know, my mom passed away when I was 36. Well, 36 to 40 for men, and for some women, but it usually happens a little bit older for women, is kind of in the middle of this supposed midlife crisis kind of thing, right? Which, I don't know if I had a midlife crisis, but, you know, I think... So, here I am in the middle of, you know, having left this long-term relationship that I was in, retiring from my career that I thought I would be in when I was forever, questioning really what I want to do with my life. And then, on top of all of that, my mom passes away. And I think it really fucked with my head. So, like, when I talk about, like, my mom on here and stuff, yes, it's about my mom, but there's also, like, a current of it being, like, I think it really, like, fucked with my head in a way that at a different age, like, if my mom or dad passed away today, I don't think it would have the same effect on me. You know, my mom was 64 when she passed away. It was like, you know, I'm 36, and so I'm looking at that as almost being, like, exactly, like, I was exactly at, like, my halfway mark, it felt like to me, of my life being over, you know, less than. And so I started seeing, it was hard for me not to see things on, like, this, you know, this time clock of how much time do I have left kind of thing, if that makes sense. And maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I can only speak from my experience. So maybe it feels the same at any age that you lose a parent. But, you know, like, a lot of people that, like, have a parent that dies when they're in high school or college, like, I feel that, like that, like, profoundly impacts you in a way that I wasn't impacted. Does that make sense? Like, I got so much more time with my mom. But I think for me, what happens is that I think that when you're older and your parent passes away, like, I would say anywhere from 30 to, like, let's say 60, I think what happens is it makes you reflect on your own life, not necessarily theirs. And so as a result of my mom, like, and I think anything before that makes you really reflect on your life without a parent, if that makes sense. Like, I don't feel, like, I'm not jaded. Like, I feel like my mom was taken from me and I was without a parent. Like, I feel like I had a parent for the majority of my life. I feel blessed, you know what I mean? And I still have my dad, so I don't feel that way. It made me reflect on my life and just the brevity of life to begin with. And so it's not like necessarily I feel like I'm old. It's like I look at my life in comparison to, like, who my mom was at my age or who my dad was at my age, and I'm like, you know, where was I, where were they when they were my age? And I look at that, you know, and try to kind of, like, figure out, well, who am I today and where am I going, and, you know, what should that be like? I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but it's like, so I think that what my mom's passing did was it held up a big mirror to me, reflecting on, well, who are you and where are you at in your life at this time, you know? And I think the other thing was it made me you know, I was talking to Alex's friend tonight. I'm friends with her too, but he's like really good friends with her, whose dad just passed away. And, you know, we were talking and she was like kind of just saying some things about grieving. And I was like, listen, I said, you know, like, you just have to allow yourself to feel it. Like, if you're going through it, you know, like, nobody's going to be upset with you because you say, I need to take 5 minutes to myself. I'm really having a tough day. And you go in the bathroom and you bawl your eyes out. Nobody's going to be a bitch about that. They just aren't, you know? And so I was kind of talking to her about grieving and some things that I had learned by going through it myself. And I said, you know, the thing that's hard is you realize at some point that, because she's a couple years younger than me, I said, you realize at some point that it's really, what you start thinking about is that it's really a reflection of where are you and who are you at your age and how you handle it. And honestly, like, I didn't handle it very well, you know? Because I don't think I had a very good grasp of who I was at that time in my life. I do today. I have a much better idea of that, but it's been a lot of work and a lot of dealing with my issues to get there. 10 years of dealing with my issues, you know? And I didn't know anything about that when my mom passed away. I just, you know, and I was so stuck in my own grief and sadness and feel sorry for me that I couldn't see outside of that, if that makes sense. And not that I shouldn't have felt like that. I think everybody deserves a period of feel sorry for me. I really do. I do. And I don't think that that's pathetic, and I don't think that that's weak. I think that we go through some tough shit in life, not just with death, but with a lot of different things. And I think everybody has a right to their own personal pain, and we need to be more sympathetic to one another with that, you know, and give people the space and the time that they need to heal. Truly, I do. You know, like, I don't understand why we just can't get people to, you know, people say, oh, you should have moved on past that. Well, that's not dictated by you. That's dictated by the person that's going through that. I don't know. Maybe I should have taken a little bit more time instead of trying to, like, rush it. But, I think that one of the things that it did for me, like, really did, like, didn't do for me, but did to me, was it really, like, okay, my mom's passing. You have to understand that up until the time that my mom died, I was very, very afraid of dying. Like, it was my number one fear. I would lay in bed at night. I would, like, imagine, like, well, what if you die and that's it? Never, ever anything else again. And this is it. This is our one existence and blackness for eternity and to infinity. And, you know, I would, like, it was crazy, okay? I mean, not every night, but once in a while I would go there, right? So my biggest fear was death. I don't have that fear anymore. I mean, I'm not ready to die tomorrow, but I'm not living in fear of death anymore. Like, it's going to happen when it's going to happen, and I realize that I'm here for a limited number of days on Earth, and I can't control that, and I really believe in living my best life while I'm here, and putting the best energy out there in the world, being the best version of myself, the most compassionate, understanding, kind, caring, you know, tolerant person that I can be, enjoying my life as well as I can. And, you know, if my time comes, my time comes. I know that today. Like, I really know that on a level that I never got that before, if that makes sense. So, what happened was, with my mom's passing, it took away my fear of death, right? But what replaced it, I think, was this reality of the shortness of life. And I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but it's like, okay, you've been so afraid to die all this time that you should have been living your life, that now that you no longer have a fear of dying, what you just got in replacement to that is a reality of the shortness of life. And so I do think that I see things like this comment pointed out very much in, like, I'm growing up too fast, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Plus, it's hard for me, you know, like, I don't want to dye my hair anymore. I like my hair white. I like my beard white. But I'll be honest with you, like, it's hard for me to look in a mirror and see myself. I mean, I'm used to it by now, but I got white hair and a white beard, you know? I mean, I have friends of mine that still do not, at my age, have one white hair on their entire body. Not one, you know? And so, it's hard sometimes. It's like, you know, I look in the mirror and it's like, well, Peter, your face doesn't look that old, but my God, you look like Santa Claus, you know? And, I mean, let's just be for real. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I know what I look like, you know? And so it's hard sometimes. And And I'm a little vain. I think we all are. I don't mind the white hair. I kind of like it. You know, I was noticing it today, and I was like, it's super white when I've been out in the sun and stuff like that. I like that. I like that, like, really clean white color of it. But at the same time, like, I mean, your hair turning white in our society is not a sign that you're getting younger. It's a sign that you're getting older, and time's coming. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be for real. So I think then what happens to me is it goes back to that. I don't have a fear of death today. I have a fear of running out of time. I have a fear of not being able to do the things I want to do, not being able to spend the time with my dogs, or, you know, or their life being short, and trying to enjoy every, moment with them, or with my husband, or doing some of my bucket list things. And, you know, I think that's like part, for me, the shirt is like not sitting on my shoulders well. I think that's part of what, for me, like, people don't really get about my main channel a lot. It's like, I got a lot of questions, and people were like, why did you not do a collab with Shane Dawson? Why didn't you collab with Shane Dawson? Why didn't you just break out your camera and stuff? Well, first of all, I'm not that person. I'm not saying that I don't take opportunities when they arise, but I don't consider myself an opportunist. And I was very excited to meet him. Like, he's somebody that I admire. He is somebody that, it was just enough for me to be able to sit there with the man and have a conversation and walk away and consider him a new friend, if that makes sense, or a newer acquaintance. I knew it wasn't going to be anything deep. I knew, you know, we spent 2.5 hours together. It was cool, you know. We sat there and talked. His friends were just as cool as he was. And it's like, for me, it's not so much about, like, don't get me wrong, I would love to be in a collab with Shane, and a collab with Trisha, and a collab with Jeffrey. Oh my God, that would be my biggest dream in my entire world. I'm not going to sit on here and bullshit all day long and say that if I was in a collab with all these people, my channel exploded tomorrow, and I had millions of subscribers, and I was making all this money, and I was traveling around. Yes, my God, that's a dream world. Who wouldn't want that? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't want that? I am not going to sit on here for 1 second and act really bullshitty about that. I can't stand when people act bullshitty about this and go, oh, it just happened real naturally, you know? But at the same time, like, it just was such a cool experience to me, you know? And to meet him and to hang out with him and Rylan and Garrett and Andrew, and, you know, like, it wasn't about breaking out a camera or my phone and getting it on Snapchat. That wasn't important to me. You know, what was important to me was that he actually took some time out of his life because he knew it was important to me to meet him, and he acted like he was excited to meet me too. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, those things are sometimes more important to me than anything else. Like, I don't have to have the physical evidence or the payoff from it. Like, it's enough for me just to meet somebody and experience some time, and I think that going through my mom's death has taught me that, you know, that sometimes I think often that experiences are more important than the result of the experience. And I'm a really huge, I mean, when I joke and I say I'm an Uber fan of these people, I'm like an Uber fan of these people. Like, that was a celebrity moment for me, you know, and at the same time, I learned a very valuable lesson. You know, I'm sitting there with this man who I just so highly respect the way that he does videos. And not that I want to do that, because even if he taught me everything he knows, I'm not going to sit down and start doing the video editing that he does and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, like, I've met my fair share of celebrities or people that are famous, you know, and what you realize very quickly is people are just people. They just are people, you know? And you get less surprised, I think, over time that I'm not really super surprised by people anymore, you know? Like, typically what you see is kind of what you get. Unless it's somebody that puts on this huge facade, and they're kind of people that you probably would believe that to be true of anyway. I don't know. I'd love to meet all those people. I'd love to do collabs. I'd love to be in a video with every single one of them. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. To do like a grand tour of Los Angeles, and one day be in a mukbang with Trisha, and the next day, like, you know, be in a video with Jeffree Star, and the next day do a video with Shane Dawson, and the next day do a video with like Glozell Green, or, you know, Tyler Oakley from back in the day. He was the very first YouTuber I ever watched, you know. There's a lot of people I don't talk about. Mark Miller and Ethan Heathcote, I love them. They're a couple from Indianapolis. You know, there's so many people out there that I watch and I respect that I would love to be in videos with. Kingsley, I think is hilarious. You know, and maybe those things will happen, you know, maybe someday that kind of stuff. Oh my God, Colleen Ballinger, Miranda Sings. I would die to do a video with her. Christine Seidelko, I think is hilarious. I would love to just like roll through a drive-thru and drive around getting fountain pops with Christine. I think that would be hilarious. She can leave a marijuana stick at home, but, you know, there's so many people that I would love to do stuff with. I'd like to meet Tana Mojo. You know, I talk a lot about her, but I'd like to sit down and meet her and see what she's really all about in person. Graveyard Girl from Houston, I'd love to, you know, meet her. And I think that it's not for me about the opportunity of being in a video. It's about being able to meet these eclectic people that so many people find interesting, you know, like, you want to talk about a grand documentary, it's like pick the top 10 like most interesting YouTubers out there and go and spend a day with them and do a 10-part series on it. I think that would be interesting as shit, you know. I'm gonna pitch that to Shane. But, you know, like, I don't know, like, the things that are important to me, too, like, as I get older, like, the things that are really important for me to complete or finish are different than they used to be, you know. It's like, I can't tell you, okay, first of all, to end that up, like, you know what was really, really cool when I met Shane was not that I met Shane Dawson. It wasn't that, like, I got these hilarious pictures, which those were his idea. Like, I said to him at the end, I said, do you care if I get a picture with you? And he was like, oh no, we're doing a picture with the fans. Like, we've got it all planned out. He was like, it'll be hilarious. And I was like, oh, okay. And, it was that, it was all of it. My husband had a great time, but there is no way that I went to 24 minutes again, but I guess I did. I don't even know, to be honest with you, where I stopped. So, I was talking about, in meeting Shane Dawson, like, one of the coolest things was that, meeting him, of course, but that you guys knew how important that was to me, and how many of you responded and said, I'm so happy for you that you finally got to meet Shane, or I know how much this means to you, I'm so happy for you, and blah, blah, blah. And that whole kind of idea of this back and forth, like, positive, supportive energy, like, was just awesome to me. You know, it was like, they know that this is something that I got excited about. Like, they know that this is something, like, you know, like, I was really trying to play it down that day, like, you know, like, in the hotel room, like, Alex is like, are you nervous? I was like, oh, no, not at all. You know, Shane Dawson. You know what I mean? Like, I was really trying to play it down, but I was, like, really kind of nervous about it. I was really excited. I was really nervous. It was, you know, so, I don't know. I hope I get to have more moments like that, and, thank you for supporting me in my dreams. Like, that's awesome. But what I was going to say before that was, and I don't know if this all got caught, I don't know, I have no idea where it stopped. So, before that, was like the things that are important to me now. It's weird, like, going forward. Like, you know, I'm reading the Harry Potter books. Well, I also want to see the Star Wars movies. I also want to, like, see the Godfather movies, because I've never seen the Godfather movies. I know, don't yell at me, Penny. But, you know, like, I've never, that was like a coyote that just, like, ran across. I'm, like, in this suburban neighborhood. Well, kind of suburban. But anyway, I mean, it's not like I'm out in the middle of the country. There's half-price books right there. So, but those are the things that are, like, weirdly important for me. Like, I want to read, like, the top 10 books that supposedly changed your life, if that makes sense. Oh my God, I tried to read that one time. It's like, number one, I mean, obviously I can't do all of them, but like, number one's the Bible. Number two is like, Oh, the Places You Go by Dr. Seuss. And number three is like, Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. And I'm like, ugh, I read The Fountainhead. I can't do another one. I tried to read Atlas Shrugged. I can't do it. Is it Ayn Rand? I always pronounce it wrong. I used to always say Ayn Rand, and then everybody said it was wrong, because it's A-Y-N. Is it Ayn Rand? Somebody let me know in the comment section below. I've looked it up a million times. I can never remember. Did you guys ever look that stuff up? I look it up, and I even play those little things where they say her name, and I can't ever remember what it is. But I'm not trying to be any kind of phony, but I did read The Fountainhead, and it took me about 6 months. And that book, I don't even remember. I don't even remember it. All I remember is that the paperback was like this thick, and each page was so long, and it was like the littlest words in the entire world. And I was like, I cannot get behind this book. But I do, like, I want to read, like, the books that are, like, supposedly important, you know? I want to, like, watch these movies that have, like, changed people's lives, and, you know, I want to do more of that. But at the same time, I want to do stuff that I enjoy, you know what I mean? I don't know. But thank you for the comment, because I need to be appreciative of the fact that I still am here. You know, I'm still here. Do you guys ever see Postcards from the Edge? But anyway, I love the movie Postcards from the Edge. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. And it's supposedly about Carrie Fisher and what's her name? Her mom that just passed away. They both passed away at the same time. Like, just right apart from each other. But that movie is, Carrie Fisher wrote it. It's called Postcards from the Edge, and it's supposedly like semi-autobiographical. Debbie, what was her mom's name? Debbie, I can't think. But anyway, why can't I think of her mom's name? Debbie Reynolds. And I know somebody's like shouting at it. I heard you. I did. I heard you said Debbie Reynolds. Wasn't she in da 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 singing in the rain? But anyway, there's this great scene in the movie Postcards from the Edge, and Meryl Streep plays the main character, and she's just gotten out of treatment, and she's an actress. I mean, Carrie Fisher, it's basically her life. And she's talking to her director, who's Gene Hackman, and she's kind of going through this moment where she's having a hard time, and Gene Hackman says, what's going on? And she says, you know, it's my mom, she's driving me crazy and whatever. And he looks at her and he says, you know, you can blame your mom, and she can blame her mom, and she can blame her mom, but at some point you just have to stop blaming and take responsibility. And I will never forget hearing that line. Y'all want to say, people want to say, people want to say you don't learn things from movies. That is like stuck in my head for 20 plus years since I saw that movie. That exact scene when he's standing there, you know, and he's like, he says something about you have to work things out or something. You can stop blaming people and work things out. And I'm like, that's so true. It's like, we constantly want to pass the buck instead of just ending things. I've learned so much through movies in my life. I really, really have. I think that movies have been my great educator in life. Movies and books. I mean, through fictional characters, I think I have learned the ways of the world. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but I really think that I have. Like, I think I've really learned, like, how to live and how to... I don't know, you know, when I look back on the movies that really profoundly impacted me, you know, like To Kill a Mockingbird, or, you know, Out of Africa, or Cry Freedom, or Trip to Bountiful, or Smoky Mountain Christmas, you know, with Dolly Parton. There's just so many movies, you know, that I look at in my life that... Do you know a movie I really love with Meryl Streep is, shoot, why can't I think of the name of it? Cher is in it. It's like one of my favorite movies ever with Meryl Streep. Damn it, I own it at home too. Where she's a factory worker and she ends up getting radiation, and then they're gonna sue the plant. It's very kind of like Norma Ray. I think she got nominated for, of course, she got nominated for an Oscar. Why can't I think of what that movie is called? Anyway, that is such a great movie with Meryl Streep. Cher is so good in it too. Did y'all see Mask with Cher? I could go on and on and on about movies all day long. I love movies. Whatever that movie is called with Meryl Streep, it's like one word. I can see the three of them on the front of it. It's her, and I remember Cher's name is Dolly in the movie, and then the man, and I think it's Jeff Bridges, and it's the three of them on the cover, on the front scene. The front scene, the front of the movie. But it's like a bird's name. What is that movie? Damn it, it's driving me nuts. Anyway, alright you guys, this is a long vlog. I was going to only do a half an hour tonight, so I'm going to get off here since I have coffee with my friend in 6.5 hours. I almost canceled it. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.